Champagne. Orange juice. And of course, your grandma does her own. And add a touch of chili. Good. Okay, grandbaby, don't eat with your mouth full. Now let's get started. Let's get started with this seafood stuffed chicken. Well, you know we got some chicken here. We ain't gonna do a darn thing with that right now, but that'll sit there and look pretty. It got a little seafood seasoning on it, got a little butter, a little bit of olive oil, and I let it stay in the fridge for a while with some butter on it, and it sat for about 3 to 4 hours. So if you have time to marinate it, go ahead. If you don't, don't. Then I want you to get you some stuffing breading and make sure it's got the seasonings in it. I use savory herb. I love to use the stovetop savory herb in this dish. All right, when you get your breadcrumbs in there, I want you to crunch them up just a little bit. I don't want them to be ground up like you get, you know, when you put it in meatloaf or something. Yeah, don't want it like that. So what you're going to do next is you're going to grab your little spinach, because we're going to mix all this up. We're going to grab our spinach. Now, when you get your spinach in there, because as you can see, this stuffing contains spinach. It also going to contain butter. Now, we're going to use this butter to help liquefy this down a little bit, add some flavor to your chicken that's going to be complementing that cheese sauce you're going to have. Then I want you to get some soup. Please use your hand. This is Campbell's Cream of Chicken Soup. And I want you to put that down in there. Then I want you to mix it all together. Just crunch, 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 crunch. And mix it in there. Come on in the bowl so they can see how these hands look. Don't waste your time trying to look pretty. Just get your stuff down in that bowl. See how you crunching it up? Get it in there. I'm going to add some of these red onions to it. A little too many for me. I'm going to add some mushrooms. Make sure you kind of chop them up. Small and large. I won't taste mine. We're going to get some of that in there. This right here is your seafood lobster. We want all our lobster in there. That's just for decorations later on. What I have here is for your crab. Yeah, It's chopped up nicely too. We got about 6 ounces total of crab and lobster in here. All right, get it all smashed up there for me. Now, what's gonna make this dish great is this garlic that we got chopped up along with some lemon pepper. Might have to add a little bit more of that later. Of course, it's got seafood seasoning going on, and this chili and lime seasoning now. That is going to give it a flavor that you could not imitate. All right, you'd have to get the whole chili, the whole lime, and all that stuff to get that flavor and let it sit. Yeah, get it all crunched up there. There you go. What I'm missing? What I'm missing? Y'all know what y'all like in? What y'all like in stuffing?
Okay, you got your oregano.
Missing a little oregano. But what's the favorite thing I'm missing that they want this? Cheese. Feta cheese. Get your feta cheese in there. Crumble that up. Yeah. I'm going to grab a little bit of oregano. I love oregano. It spices and saves things for me. All right, mix it in real good. That's smelling good. Oh my. This is not one of those stuffings that you stuff with and you wonder where is the stuffing. No, this is stuffing. This is good stuffing. You can stuff a whole daggone chicken with this. This got the real meat going on. Now, what Grandma tell you? Okay to use your hand. Make sure you're always clean. All right, I'm going to wash my hands. That's what I'm going to do. Y'all just hold on 1 second. I'm going to wash my hands. Then I'm going to squeeze some lemons in it. And we going to stuff this darn chicken right away. Get it in the oven. We want the oven on bake 350. You need to preheat your oven. Preheating is good in all kind of life. Always preheat your ovens. Preheat your ovens. They'll be happy. All right then. After you preheat your oven and you got that all started, then I want you to come back on over and take some olive oil and put it down in the bottom of this pan. Don't worry about those little scrunchies down there because we're going to leave some outside of the daggone breast. Now, people always talk about chicken breast. Oh, they be so tough. I don't like using them. This, that, and the other thing. Split your chicken breast down like this way. See this side and see this side. Split them. Lay them over there. Stuff them. Now, there's one or two ways to stuff a chicken. You can stuff it like that, leave it looking like that to look pretty, and put the whole chicken on your plate and just have it spread out like that. Put your seasons around it. Put your little lemon on top of it. You can do all that kind of stuff like this. See, I'm going to show you. I'm going to show you what you can do. You do that, baby, like that to look pretty. And get your little lime there with it to look pretty. You stick the toothpick through it like that to get it look graceful. I'm sorry, y'all. Look real graceful for you. And you stick it in there, leave it in there like that. See, that look pretty. Now, you don't have to do nothing with that, but leave it open, let it cook, right? You can season it more, hot and spicy, whatever you want to do. Or you could grab your piece like I like to do, because my man like a big meal. So I like to cut it like this. Then I just look at it like this, and I'm going to fold it over like this. So I'm going to take this baby like this and stuff like this. See how that is? Don't that look like a manly meal? Look like a womanly meal to me, because I can eat this. Ain't no shame in our game. All right. Push that to the side, honey. We ain't got time. Then you could take it and do it like this right here. See? You can take this, the little babies. Take the little babies. Now, you can always make this so you could cut it in half. Now, if you want, you could spread this over your entire, like that. And spread it down now. And like I always told you, you could leave it open and have one like that. And that's just a spread over there. And you take your lime, you take your lemon. Now, when these lemon and lime cook down, they give this a terrific flavor. Now, I'm telling you, you're going to want to eat the lemon and lime. It's just like eating zest, but you ain't scraped it. Zest being the scrapings from an item, like lemon peel, all that kind of stuff. Then I have another one here that I want to take, and I tell you, I'm going to show you what you can do with this one. You kind of spread this one kind of thin. See? Say if you ain't got too many pigs in your family, you know. Now, I want you to know this stuffing, you can heat it and bake it just like this and eat it. It's very good, very tasty. And you could roll these if you like. Now, when you roll them, this going to have a thick cut and you're going to have a center. So we're going to leave that rolled and looking pretty just like that. Now, what would I do with the extra stuff that I have? I just take it. If you want to look real jazzy, you could put it in some nice, beautiful serving cup similar to this platter right here. And just bake it in that cup. And when it come out, it's ready to serve. If you're a vegetarian, I don't know what to do for you other than take meat out, but I got all kind of fat and butter, so you know I ain't too good with all that vegetarian stuff. I'm from a family of meat eaters, so I'm going to try to help y'all out. Now, that's your seafood stuffed chicken. Now, the only thing I need to do with that is sprinkle me a little peppercorn on the top. And I don't want the whole peppercorn on this. I'm just going to get me a little bit of this peppercorn like this. And I just want to put a little bit of that. Not much. I got to grind fine. It's fine grind. And it loses its flavor in the oven, right? So we ain't going to worry too much about that. We're going to take and put on our Old Bay. And now when you bake this in the oven, it's from 35 to 45 minutes until it's completely done. We're going to put some of that in there. All right, so what I'm going to do now is get this in the oven. 35 minutes. They are all done. And I'll tell you what, one thing I love about a good chicken breast, When you cook it and you cook it down to the level that it should be, it is oh so tasty. This here is your stuffing in a cup. Look at that. We're going to get to this cheese sauce, and I'm going to take you from a roux, which is the basis for soup, sauces, and gravy, straight on into that cheese sauce we're going to get. So let's get started. First, I'm going to start out over here with your meats. We're going to take our juicy, yes. This is scallops, shrimp, a little crab, and a little lobster chop. We're going to put all that in our dish. It's in a olive oil blend. I love it. It comes from several different cultures. It's extra virgin. Look at it. Read the bottle. It's a world blend. Love it. You might want to try that sometime. So we got that in that world blend. Make sure that when you go to make your meat, that you get your pan pretty hot. It should be sizzling. Okay? Now that we got that pretty hot, we're going to throw on some of our items that we need on it. I like a little coarse sea salt on that. Now, be careful if you use a pan. I suggest it's non-stick. If you use stainless steel, you don't ever want to throw your salt in the bottom of your pan. You want to put it on your item so you don't damage your pan. This is a little bit of white pepper. We want to keep that color consistency and not have those black dots in it, because we want to know all about this oregano that we're using it. Shake some oregano on there to taste, salt and pepper to taste. You know what you like. I use about a teaspoon, tablespoon here and there. I got some chili lime. I'm going to put that on there too. Yeah, I want about a tablespoon or two of that because I want it to have that chili lime flavor, but don't put too much. We don't want to make this hot. Now, we're going to stir those around. They take about 3 minutes. While we're doing that, look at it. They're looking delicious. We're going to turn our fire on over here. We're going to get our fat. What is necessary to make a sauce? You must have fat, and for our fat, we're using butter today. Okay? You must have fat, and you must have some form of flour. Now, instead of it being like the regular bread flour, I'm going to use cornstarch. That is good for gluten-free people in case you just don't want that flour. All right, make sure you stir your items and get them stirred. Now, we want these to cook. We're going to turn them off as soon as they get done, and we're going to let them sit there and simmer while it waits for our sauce to go. But first of all, we want to put in our onions, because you want a little onion flavor, so we have a little red onion. Now, you can use green onion if you don't want to add any more sweet. Now, I just want on the inside a few of these. Yes, get. Now, this is your gourmet mushrooms. Come in many styles, many shapes, many flavors. I want you to use that. It adds that little extra oomph to it. Stir it in there. Oh, that's smelling good. While you're doing that now, don't forget what's going on in your other pan. Now we're getting ready. The butter is almost melted. Now what I have here is a 1/4 cup of butter. I'm going to make quite a bit of cheese sauce. Now, if you know you're going to be using your cheese sauce within 3 months, you can make as much of this as you want and freeze it. Oh, I think that's looking good. Is it smelling good? Mm-hmm. Oh, man. What I want to do now, I think, is just take and throw me a little bit more, because, you know, I like to try things. Just a little bit more Italian seasoning, because over here we're going to be making a cheese sauce that is going to be quite a bit. Now, the garlic I'm going to put in over here on my cheese sauce area. Now, when you start adding other things besides your flour, then you start to become your sauce or your gravy. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to take you to your roux. I want you to take about a tablespoon, teaspoon of cornstarch. Start out with it, about a tablespoon, and we're gonna see if you get to the consistency that you have. We're gonna turn off our shrimp. We're gonna let those mellow down a little bit. I'm gonna take and sprinkle on a little bit of my Spain sweet paprika. I don't know if the crap came from Spain or not, but that's what it said. It says Spain. I don't know what that means, but it says Spain. It says Spain, and it tastes good. There we go. We got that on there. Now your butter, don't burn your butter. Don't burn your butter. Now that you have your butter in there, make sure that your cornstarch that you put in there, see how you're getting that foam? See? All right. Now that you got your cornstarch, you got that little foam, I want a little bit more cornstarch. How do I know? Because I'm going to make quite a bit of gravy. And once I get my heavy cream on it, then I might have an issue with not having enough. So I'm going to make my roux a little bit more. I'm going to turn it down to low. Mom, can you hand me that cornstarch, please? And I'm going to go ahead and deal with this cornstarch. Check it out. Yeah, just a little bit more. There we go. I don't want to switch to flour because I have a gluten-free baby. Here we go. So now that I got a little bit more cornstarch in there, I can give you the roux that I want so you see the consistency. Now you already have a roux. This I call my thin base roux. If you're gonna make a thin cheese sauce. Now if you cook this and keep cooking it and it gets thicker and thicker, you could take that. Now I see a roux because it's been around. They were doing it in biblical time when you read it. That's when it first started. So a roux is really just the basis of a dipping sauce. Now it can get hard like a clot, so it has a peanut butter consistency, or you can leave it like this. I'm going to leave mine like this. This is my roux. It's for my cheese sauce. I'm gonna add garlic. Now I've started my sauce. Anything other than fat in some form of flour. And when I say flour, you can use cornstarch, you can use ground seasonings to make it, and that'll give you a little thinner gravy, or a little thinner sauce. However, it's all a roux. See that? That's your sauce now. Now, if you want to change this sauce, you got everything in it. Here, we're going to take and add a little bit of damn sea salt to that, not too much. Add a little bit of that. We're going to add a little bit more white pepper here. That's all we need of that. Now, we're going to take this and we're going to add our milk. Most cheese sauces start out with butter, milk. Now, this is a heavy cream. Now, you can use regular milk or heavy cream depending on the flavor and the consistency. Since this is going with seafood, I want to use a little bit more cream than I do milk. That's not to say I won't put some milk in this when I get ready to thin it out. So we just going to turn this up. Now, when you make roux, you're making it pretty fast. This is too long to make a roux. Normally your roux, you just turn it up, you get your fire. See how that's bubbling? See? That's ready for your cheese. Okay? So you get your cheese. What I have is some feta cheese and some Gouda. We're going to put that in there. Then I'm going to add a little bit of milk. And then we're going to let this simmer on down. All right. And we're going to simmer it until all our cheese melt down. There we go. There we go. Get all that melt down. Look at that. Turn your fire down. Let it simmer. All right. So what do we do next? We just wait for this to simmer down. You melt it down. You got your cheese sauce. I'm going to add me a little bit more cream in mine. And I'm gonna add some of my mushrooms over here and a little bit more Gouda. You have your cheese, your feta, your Gouda all melted together. You have your little mushrooms addition in there. Then you're gonna take your stir fry that you had over here where you sauteed them in olive oil. Then you're gonna put that in there. You got your fire up pretty high. Oh, that looks good. Oh. All right, we're gonna turn it back down and you're gonna stir. Okay, there we go. This is your cheese topping with seafood in it for your seafood stuffed chicken. And what we have in here, remember, is some shrimp, some scallop, crab, lobster, and then it's stuffed with crab and lobster and spinach. That's your cheese sauce. So once you get your milk in and let everything melt down, should take you a total of 10 minutes to make this cheese sauce, because feta cheese takes a while to melt down and you don't want it to scorch. Let's get in this pan and see how this cheese sauce looks. Let's see. Let's see if it's let's check this out. Oh yeah, see the texture?
Yes.
Something great to put over your chicken. All right.
All right.
Now, what you can do is take this, put it in a container, airtight, and you could freeze it for up to 3 months in the freezer. And you could also put it in the refrigerator for up to a week.